Namo sarvada thayangate arahate samyek sambuddhibhyo namo harya alokete shvaraya bodhisattvaya mahasattvaya
Sorry, crap. Welcome back to our class on the subject of principle in Buddhism or Vinaya. Hope everyone doing good on this time. And now, so we how many students right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 students. Can everyone just turn on your camera to see greeting first?
กราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์เจ้าค่ะ
Satu krama. Oh, okay. So last time we talked about the Vinaya. Can anyone share some idea about last time that we already talked about the Vinaya Pitaka? Garadin, how was your life? How are you doing now?
Doing the same.
The same. Everything good?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to hear that. And how about other everything in country? Everything's doing fine with the people in your hometown?
Yeah.
Okay. And Wei, how about
Good
you?
afternoon, Long P.
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Life as usual.
Okay. Life as usual. And okay. How about John Kevin? How about your temple right now?
ครับพระอาจารย์ Good afternoon everyone ครับ
ครับผม It's raining there
Yeah of course it's raining every day
every day.
Weather Papaya is so cool weather is very nice
The weather is very nice there. Okay. Great to hear that. Okay. Hope everything does fine. But actually the mountains right now in the highland a little bit cold at night, right? You
yes
have to take care of yourself, and that's very great weather for it in this situation. อาจารย์แม่ชีมลวันขออภัยมนลวี
มนวลีค่ะ
Oh, Mon Valley, sorry that. How was your life?
Everything is good. Yes, very good.
Very
Only
good.
that a couple days, this
Yes.
couple days, the weather is very hot in
Oh,
Jamtong
okay.
because no more rain already.
Yeah, in Chiang Mai, stopped raining around 2 days already, right? In
Yes.
it is even the city too, in the city and in Jamtong. Okay. And Ajahn, oh, we have many monks from. How was your temple? In your temple now, everything's good there.
Yes, Karukrap Prajan, everything is good. We are in Papay as also with Lupi Kevin. So Papay, the Lupi Kevin already described about the weather.
The weather.
We came here from Patun Chai. Now we here for a few days, and we're gonna go back to Patun Chai.
Oh, I see.
Sad.
So the weather that's probably familiar with your hometown, I think. It's a good
Yes.
to stay there and nice to hear from all of you too. Okay.
Sad.
Uh-huh. Okay, and what about the other 2 months there? Actually, you stay at the same temple, right?
The weather here is extremely hot in the afternoon, but
Oh.
at night it get cooler a bit.
I see. At night it's cold, right?
Yep.
So actually the mountain is getting cold at night. Okay. Okay, so nice to hear from everyone that everyone doing good. And we hope that more students, if any friends that want to join our class, we also welcome. Okay, welcome to our class as well. Okay, last time we talked about Vinaya Pitaka. As I mentioned that Vinaya or the principle in Buddhism at the beginning, right? We have no rules to follow as the Buddha at the beginning of the enlightenment of the Buddha, right? And do you remember who is the first causing the principle, the Vinaya rule number 1? You remember that is the name?
พระสุทิน
Prasutin. So what is the problem with Prasutin? What happened to Prasutin? Why he's the first one causing the rule number 1?
about the sexual.
Okay, the sexual with his ex-wife. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned from last time that Vinaya Pitaka at the beginning start from step, collecting one by one step, by step. Okay, after Buddha got enlightened and turned to Vasa around 20, I think, as I remember that Vasa number 1 to Vasa around 20. All the Buddhist communities at that time still have no rules. Right now we have 227, right? But at that time, we haven't have any rules until Vasa 20 and Pra Sutin. Okay. Prasutin is the first caused the defeat of Parachika rule number 1. Okay. So if we study Parachika, then actually how many rules of Parachika that monks should be aware or should not break any one of them? How many rules for Parachika? Anyone know about that?
For Parachika.
Yeah, for Parashika. So for Parashika, that's very strict rule that monks should not should not break any of them. Okay. So number 1 is broke by Prasutina, and that's the number 1 sexual, right? So monks should abstain from sexual misconduct, even girls, boys, or any organs of human being, and then animals as well. This when we study about this principle, we will know that the rules of the Buddha is cover of humans and living beings as well. Because it's the first time many monks, after Prasutin broke the rule number 1 of Parashika, then Buddha set up rule number 1 at that moment. Later on, some monks think that, oh, Buddha not allow only to have sex with girls. So some monk they also go to have sex with men as well. So Buddha collecting that even man's girl, man or women cannot. Then later on, some monks think that Buddha not allow only human beings. How about animals? So that is another problem, that there's some monk have sex with the monkey. So that's why there are subtitle rule of Parashika, and that's we're going to study further for Dharma Scholar level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when we talk about the rules of Vinaya in Buddhism, right? That is the thing that we are concerned with the monkshood. But for the general people, as I mentioned before, that for lay people, even our life is concerned with the country, the rules of national, the law of the country as well. So the principle are to live, to follow, to obey in order to create peace and happiness in community. That's the thing that we need to follow. In monk's life is 227 precept, that very strict rule is quite like monk have to observe. But for general people, like Anan, like Ajahn Mechi, Mon Wali, they have 8 precepts to follow. For a novice, they have 10. Then monk to 227 precepts. And then female monks, 311 precepts they have to follow. Okay, so for the general people like Wei or like Garadin, they have actually 5 precepts for us the people to live, because it's good for them to live as a people or lay people lives. Different levels of the principle or the precept that people have to follow. Okay. Last time, I'm not sure that I have question for you or not. Actually, a girl, I think maybe already question for you. Like female monks, they have 311, right? But for monks, only one 227 precept. 227 precept. The rule is different. And I think you still remember why female monks or Pikuni took 311. Can we just revise? I think someone said before, right? Before we talk about that. You remember that? Why female monks took 311? I think someone answered me before, right? That because the physical of male monk and female monk is different. That's why the rule for 311 precepts is covered by protect the female monks. So male monk took 227, female monks took 311. So that's the difference because our physical is different. When we look at the purpose of the Vinaya or the principle for monks and female monks, when we follow the rules of protect us from the bad karma. Okay. Anyone, you know that after Buddha passed away, so we starting to kind of like collecting the Vinaya or the rules for monks and female monks to follow. One monk, his name is Pra Ubali. Do you remember Pra Ubali? Pra Ubali, Pra Mahakassapa, right? Pra Mahakassapa, Pra Ubali, and Pra Ananda. Pra Ubali, he very good on he responsibility to answer and to clarify about Vinaya Pitaka. When they did, how do you say that? Sankhayana first time. After Buddha passed away for 3 months. Okay, after Buddha passed away, then monks do Sankhayana, or we call kind of like conference to check the Vinaya in order to categorize the teaching and the Vinaya of the Buddha. Because before Buddha passed away, Buddha said that the monk asked that after Buddha passed away, who will be our leaders? So Buddha answered that Dhamma Vinaya will be your leader. So after he passed away, that's why we study about Vinaya, and we kind of like we follow Vinaya and the Dhamma and Vinaya that happened at the first time. Okay, let's see how to share screen too. Okay. Okay, last time we talked about Vinaya Pitaka, right? And Vinaya Pitaka is called big for Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni, but what else that I mentioned before for lay people, you took for 5 precepts to observe as the life for convenient for you. Okay. So last time we already talked about the monastic rules or the Vinaya Pitaka for monks and nun, for Buddhist monk and Buddhist nun, or female monks or bhikkhuni. Okay. Today we are going to move further about the structure of Vinaya Pitaka. Okay, the structure of Vinaya Pitaka in Buddhism. And then actually last time we talked about the role of Vinaya Pitaka in Buddhist monastic. As I mentioned that in order to conduct the behalf of monks and female monks in the temple, in order to be peaceful community. And for the lay people, the 5 Panchasila or Benjasin. Benjasin also means the 5 precepts that lay people follow in order to keep peace and harmony in their family as well. The history of Vinaya Pitaka. Okay, history of Vinaya Pitaka that I mentioned before about the first rule and collecting until the pass away of the Buddha, 227 precept. Okay, so we are going to move further about the principle of Vinaya Pitaka in Buddhism. That after Buddha passed away, how the process of Vinaya Pitaka moving on. So the key point, it means that in each region of, each school or each sect in Buddhism, they follow Vinaya a little bit different. In Theravada Buddhism, we follow for parashika, but for Mahayana, like in China, or they follow 8 precepts, 8 parashika for monks, so they have more than us, like that. Actually, female and male monks, they also follow different. Okay, that is we're going to study further about the deep about the Vinaya and the Parajika Sankatisesa, the 227 precept, as well as the 311. So what else that is different? We're going to talk about that later. Okay, so how to transform from Bali language, how to transform from the Buddha time to generation by generation until us about the Vinaya Pitaka. The Vinaya Pitaka, actually, as I mentioned, that even in Vajrayana school and Mahayana in the regions of China and Theravada Buddhism in Southeast Asia, so they also follow Vinaya. It's a little bit different, because the originals after the Buddha passed away and they have first conference, but some monks, they live a little bit far when they come late in that situation. So they follow the rule a little bit different from the original. The main key that why they follow the Vinaya Pitaka in different, because some situation like in India country, there's some part is very dry, some part very cold, some part very hot. So that's why when Buddha go to give Buddha gave some teaching or some rules, it will be a little bit different. So that's why this is one of the thing that made each group of monks they follow different. In daily life of Theravada Buddhism, Theravada means we follow our master. Okay, we follow our master, the teaching of the master. That's why the Vinaya is quite influenced to Buddhist practice. Like in Thailand, Thai people are very strict on, they are very strict on the Vinaya Pitaka. It's different from India. It's different from India. In India, there's quite more much intention on the Dhamma more than the Vinaya. But in Thailand, we are more focused on the Vinaya than the Dhamma. I mean, a monk in Thailand, you know that we cannot drive. We cannot drive a car, or we cannot do something like a different from other country. When I went to the United States, my friend's monk, but he can drive outside that if he has the license, driving license, so he can drive. But in Thailand, even monks were not allowed to concern with politics, not involved with politics, co-involved with kind of driving car, except some difficult, like the countryside is very difficult. That's monk can adjust for that, but mostly they're not allow monks to drive. So the key point to follow Vinaya Pitaka, according to the Buddhist teaching, when we want to get enlightened or go to the destination of, or the aim of Buddhist practice is to get enlightened, precept or Vinaya it will protect us from warrior. The key points meant that when we have Vinaya Pitaka is highlight is something that make us to confidence to practice. Okay, so when we practice any meditation, if our rules, our precept is not like we have some, if our rules not like we are not follow the rules or we break any rule of them when we go to meditate, may cause something for us cannot meditate directly to calm down our mind, or maybe it's difficult because sometimes we may did some, maybe it's not like very strict, but something else that we did and we could worry about that. Oh, I broke the rules. So that is one thing we call a kind of like warrior, not sorry, worry about the rules. So this is why our master always mentioned that Vinaya is the wall to defend you from the busy mind, defend yourself and make your strong mind to practice. Okay, so when we have like Sila Parisutta or our precepts is very pure we have like perfect on our precept. So when we meditate, that can help us to calm down our mind like more easier because we have no worry about that. Okay, so this is the key point, that when someone decide to become a monk or female monks, they have to very strictly to follow the rules. Okay, and make themselves different from the lay people. As you know, the lay people, they took 5 precepts, right? The 5 precepts for lay people are like, number 1, abstain from killing or abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct, from lying, from drinking alcohol. There are 5 precepts for the lay people to follow, but among we need to follow more in order for ourselves, our community, like that. So when we become a monks, the rule that 227 is very necessary for us to follow in order to make us different from lay people. Lay people maybe easily get angry, or they can do like lay people life. They can go to do job, work outside, or some of them maybe go to drink or alcohol or whatever. But monks, all these things is prohibited for the monks. So that's why when we follow we follow the Vinaya Pitaka, then the Vinaya Pitaka will protect us and also serve us as like different from people in order to more easier. Okay, and the Vinaya Pitaka for the Buddhist practice is to help and support the two more easier to get peaceful of mind, and in the final destination is to get Nibbana. Okay, so last time I talked to you that now we're going to understand more about the structure of Vinaya, the rules of monastic rules for monks, female monks, and for the lay people, the 5 precepts in Theravada Buddhist concept. Okay, because not Tham or Dhammasiksa or the Dhamma scholar level that we study based on the Theravada Buddhism, the Buddhists in Southeast Asia. Okay, so now the Vinaya Pitaka, there are 8 books in holy books in Theravada, or in Thailand. Okay, I supposed to say in Thailand, because other country maybe the number of books in we call Patrapidok or Tipitaka probably is different. In Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, so they printed out about the teaching of Buddha is different. How many books are there in how many Pitaka books are there in Thailand? Is there anyone used to or know about that? How many books are there? Pitaka or พระไตรปิฎก in Thailand. They we printed out how many books?
45.
45. Why 45?
45 in Bali languages, in Bali language, and 91 in Bali language with Atthakatha, Attadika. It's 91 about that, around
Yeah.
it.
So we also have some kind of like a commentaries kind explain more about details about that. 45 books in Thailand. Okay. In Thailand, 45 books as Pitaka or พระไตรปิฎก So eight books concerned with Vinaya Pitaka. So here you can see about Sutta Vipanka. This is the outlined constant basics rule for monks, okay, and nuns. So monks and nuns. So actually, this is quite big. It's a big Vinaya Pitaka for the monks and nuns, or it's not like nun but female monks. Okay, monks and female monks that we are follow. Monks 227 precept and a 311 precept is we call Sutta Vipanka. So this is kind of the section that mostly talk about the rules of the monks and female monks, only that. Okay. Then the second group we call Kantaka. Okay. So the Kantaka in our teaching in the Vinaya Pitaka is these Sutta Vipanka talk about the rule like Palachika 4, right? Aniyata 2, Sankatisesa 13, and then other rule follow step by step. And they focus in each one of them. Very, very simple of that. They talk about that, okay? But when we talk about commentary, the commentary discourse, they will explain like I talked to you before that, like the rule number 1, parachika, as we know that, okay, monk should not have sex, or female monk and female should not have sex with human, right? But actually in discourse or commentary, they will explain more about parachika, that there are many cases that happen in the parachika. So when you study about Vinaya Pitaka, then you can know about that detail. That Buddha is not the rule of parachika. It's not only to prohibit that, not allow only not allow have sex with men only, but animals and also like the human animals. All that is the parachika not talk about and not allow monks or female monks to concern with that, involved with that. Okay. Kantaka is kind Kantaka is a kind of the rules that when monks stay together in the temple, then we follow our rules, 227 precepts. But there's still some other rules that we need to living together in the community too. So like what else that we need to do? Like Luang Pi stay in the temple in Papaya, right? In like Luang Pi Kevin's or other Luang Pi that you stay in Papaya. Actually, we come from different country, and actually the behalf that we from different country, it will be different. So Kantaka is a kind of monastic rules that we need to follow and do together, like clean the temple. Like what else that we do? Bintabat, or collecting food. หลวงพี่เควินไปไหมไปบิณฑบาตหรือเปล่าอยู่แถวป่าแปะไปไหม
Yes, go to almost every day.
Almost every day, right?
Yes.
Okay. So people, how did you get food enough in the Papet?
Not enough. It okay ครับ because the people I mean the กะเหรี่ยง no people Thai Buddhism most the village them Christian more than Buddhism in a village. Yeah.
So all of them they support, they are Buddhists, right? They're
Yes.
current,
Yes.
they support a monks.
Yes.
Good to hear that. Okay. So when I talk about the Kantaka or the monastic rules that every monks to have to follow and do all together. Like you go to Bintabat, right? Bintabat. So that is one of the mission that monks should. This is kind of out of the Ubosatha scene. 227. That is the rule that we exactly to follow. But the other things that we have to follow is to another rules that we stay in the temple. Like we stay in Thailand, we follow 227 precepts. Then we not only this, but we still follow the Thai law. The Thai law. We have to obey. We have to follow the Thai law that we should not do some other thing which is not not good or not correct according to the Thai law as well. So Kantaka is covered with number one, you need to every month need to go to recite the Sila in Obosata or ordination hall every full moon day. Okay, every full moon day, or we call one พระขึ้น15 ค่ำ so every monk should go to Obosata ordination hall to reciting the or the Vinaya Pitaka. As we start from they were kind of like reciting rule number 1 until rule 227 like that. That's we call long Obosot or go to join the ceremony of reciting Pitaka. In Pape, so did you did that?
Yeah, we have go to ceremony some temple for Ubosot Patimok for moon
Yeah,
day.
Otimoka.
Yeah, Patimokha.
Where is it? In Pape or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Or somewhere else. Okay, that is one of the rules that Kantaka talk about that. Okay. Number 2, as I mentioned before, that every monk should go to collect food from lay people. Pintapata. Okay, collecting food. Number 3, anyone else can help me to answer that? What is the routine for the monks that we have to when we live together?
After Amra, we have activity for cleaning. I monastery at the
Okay,
temple.
cleaning. Okay.
Cleaning.
Yes.
Yes.
Every morning and every evening. So what do we around what time you did morning chanting in Pape?
Around at 4:30 a.m.
4:30 in the morning, right? So you have
Yes.
morning and also evening. What time? 6 o'clock? 6 p.m.
6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Yes.
This is one of the rules that it's not kind of the rule, but it's kind of like monastic rule that we have to do. We have to ทำวัดสวดมนต์ morning chanting, evening chanting. This is number 3 so number 1, go to Bosata. Number 2, we collecting food in the morning, and then number 3, we do chanting, morning chanting and evening chanting. Actually, yeah, as I made many friends, chanting we use for Buddhists. We don't say praying. The word pray is kind of is different from Buddhist. Okay, chanting is just is the way reciting the teaching of the Buddha. Okay, like we do Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava is to respect to the Buddha, the Sangha, and then we do the mantra chanting like Asevana Japalana Bandidana Sevana. So that's the chanting, is the taking the teaching of the Buddha to recite. And the final, before we finish chanting, we call blessings, and then spread love and kindness or pay metta. That is the 3 or 4 steps that we do for the chanting. Okay, so as a monk, we do morning, evening chanting. And then, as you Kevin mentioned, that when we stay at the temple, our another duty that we have to do is to clean our temple. Okay, evening and morning clean our temple. There is another rules that we need to monastic rule that we need to helping each other to clean the temple. And then what else? Number 5, we need to take care of our clothes, our sankati. Actually, monks journey to anywhere should carry on one's the rope like this, and then the other one we call sankati, another second part of clothes, and our angsa, and then sabong, like that. How do you call sabong in English? Anyone know in English that how do we call sabong? Like sabong in Thai. So we like พัดเหมือนผ้าถุงแต่ว่าเป็นสบงเนาะเราเรียกว่าสบง
ครับ
Anyone know how to call สบง in English?
หลวงพี่ทีม do you know สปง what it call
Oh,
English
how to call in English?
Karugrat Prachan, I got the answer from Lupitim, lower robe. That is just well, what Lupitim thinks. We don't have other name for now.
So we call
That's
the lower robe, right?
Lower robe.
Okay,
Probably.
that's for me. Actually, in Thai we call sabong, and sometimes we also name that sabong, but we need to explain in English for make sure you understand as well. Lower robe or sabong.
Sure.
So this is one of the monks that need to carry. Anyone, why do we need sankhati? Do you know sankhati? The extra rope that we put on.
The Sankati we wear with khamdam, and it's a blanket. It's used as a blanket when we go away. We go and we spend the night. We need the Sankati as a blanket. This is also an answer from Lupitim. Too.
Yeah. So sankhati is useful for us. In like before we have in the Buddha time, actually we have one only, but later on, like in India, the weather also cold, right? That's why Buddha allow us to have more light sankhati. More because we can use sankhati as the blanket any time of that. Let me show to everyone to see about this. See this, right? So sanghati actually the extra robe that we use in our culture, we will put on our shoulder when we have some ceremony, like go to Bosatha. or some ceremony, then we will put on. Or when you journey, then you have to put it on together. And then this is we call angsa. Angsa. Angsa is kind of like used when you stay in temple. Then you need to put a big rope on the saffron. Then you just take like angsa. And then here we call lower rope or sabong. Lower rope or sabong. And then jivara. And then for our tradition, we have another rope we call parat ok, or the cloth for tie in your chest. Yes, this is the Thai style that we dress like this. In Myanmar, they'll probably dress in different. In Cambodia, also different. Anyone know why we have this extra rope, rat ok? There's a meaning for this, for us, for our idea. The rope, parat ok, that we tie in when we dress like these monks. Where these ropes come from? Anyone know about that? มีใครรู้ไหมผ้ารัดอกมาจากไหนอาจารย์แม่ชีทราบไหม
ไม่แน่ใจค่ะ เพราะว่าผ้ารัดอกนี่เดี๋ยวกำลังคือตอนเรียนนักธรรมอะค่ะ พระท่านไม่ยอมให้เข้าห้องเรียนวินัย
โอ้น่าส
ให้
ง
วิ
สาร
นั
มาย ก
ใช่ท่านไม่ยอมให้เรียนท่านให้ไปเรียนเบญจศีลไม่ได้ทำอุโบสถศีลเอาเอง แต่ในขณะเดียวกันเนี่ย เคยได้เข้าคอร์สพระไตรปิฎกอะนะคะ ของอาจารย์พระมหาสมปอง แต่ว่ามันเป็นภาษาไทยไม่ใช่ภาษาอังกฤษ ก็เลยไม่ทราบว่าจะอธิบายเป็นภาษาอังกฤษยังไงเหมือนกัน แต่รู้ว่ามันเหมือนกับการที่ผ้ารัดเอวเนี่ยมันหมายถึงเหมือนกับแบบมันเหมือนกับการที่เราทำให้ไอเสื้อผ้าผ้าอะไรเขาเรียกอะไรนะคะ โทษค่ะจีวรนะคะ
แม่พูดภาษาอังกฤษก็ได้
ค่ะ
เพื่อนๆจะได้ฟังด้วย
อ๋อ
You can speak English so our friend will understand that.
I'm not sure whether that ผ้ารัดอก what is come from because since I learn นักดำ in Thai I'm not the teacher not around แม่ชี or the nuns to attend the class of the Vinaya so for ผ้ารัดอก I'm not sure whether I've never heard about it the benefit for ผ้ารัดอก
Okay.
I'm not sure whether for use anything but in my opinion I think is ผ้ารัดอก is used is as a corset do you know corset like to make the dress woman dress to make it more comfortable and in shape and สุภาพเรียบร้อยเนี่ยอะไรนะคะ polite เหรอ
polite dress.
ค่ะ make it more polite.
Okay, so actually, this cloth, actually, many master claim that we took from female monks because in Thailand we don't have female monks for a long time. That's why they took this robe as to memorize them like that. But actually, we not exactly know that why these robes come from. So if you go to Sri Lanka in India, Sri Lanka, then they don't have this kind of robe. So probably we adjust to our society. Okay, this is the one of the thing that monks should, when we stay at temple, then we have to observe, we have to clean, we have to take care of ourselves. That's because to take care of ourselves, take care of our clothes. Okay. And next one, the duty the monks in the monastic, right? In the monastic, what they do is to go to clean, purify their precept. Okay, purify the precept, or we call parivasakama. Parivasakam or parivasakama is to like if the monk maybe broke rule Sankati said 13 or any rules that could caused by some other apathy, then monk should go 1 year. So they need to purify their precept by go to meditate in the forest. But actually in Thailand they will provide a kind of ceremony like this to every month. They could join that. Can go enjoy with this parivasakama. We call it's a purification precept section that's happen every year in Thailand. According to the Vinaya Pitaka, if a monk cause any apathy, even the middle one or except the very strict one, the middle one and the lower one we call apathy. Monk should go to purify his guilty or his broken the precept to purify his mind again. It depends on how many days that you hide your the action of that. If you broke like rule Sankati Sesa 13, you broke one of them, like maybe like some monks here, before you become a monk and you have kind of your girlfriend, and then you decide to become a monk. Sometime you talk to your ex-girlfriend during your monk and you said, oh, I miss you. It's kind of like this because break the rules. Okay, so if you said that, oh, I miss you too, darling, something like this, so that is the kind of breaking the rule according to the Vinaya Pitaka. So if you dislike this, they say that you need to purify your precept. If you hide for 10 days, then you need to go to the forest for cleaning your mind for 10 days. 1 month, you have to practice for 1 month. But in case that maybe 1 year, you maybe remember or cannot remember, then our master said that if you some kind that maybe you did some action, some karma with your intention or without your intention, whatever, so you can join the ceremony for 10 days purification that is in Thailand that we set up for. So monk should do once a year that you go to purify the precept. And then next one, every month we have to shave our hair. In Thailand, once a month that we shave the hair. So this is one of the things that kantaka that we have to follow. We have to obey this rule. And in Thailand, we shave our eyebrow too. Our eyebrow we need to shave too. Last time I already talked to you, right? The reason why Thai monks shave our eyebrow. Do you remember that? Anyone remember that? Maybe shave your
This is
hair.
about the war. This is about the war in กรุงศรีอยุธยา
Yes, what happened?
Because the Burmese come to intruder Thailand in Ayutthaya reign, so by being as a spy in Ayutthaya, and they came as a spy by being a monk. So we have to let all the Thai people, the Thai monk, to shave the eyeball, and so that can identify between the real Thai monk and the Burmese monk in that in the war during the war. I'm not sure whether it's correct or not.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone heard about this story before? Okay, so as she mentioned, as Ajahn Mechi mentioned that this is concern is involved with fighting the war in Ayutthaya periods, that some Burmese people came to Thailand to lie to audience as a monk, but he's a spy in Thailand. So later on, the Thai armies realized that there's some spy, and as a monk living in Thailand, okay, so that's why they try the king and the Thai kingdom asked the monks every Thai monk to shave the eyebrow to make it different from Burmese monks. That's why Thai monks keep that tradition until now. Now, so when we shave our hair, then we shave our eyebrow. But other country lines, I'm not sure for Laos and Cambodia, they don't shave the eyebrow. In Myanmar, they also don't shave the eyebrow. Only in Thailand, that we did that too. Kenvin, in your country, do you shave your eyebrow?
Yes, eyebrows in the
Shave
country.
too, right?
Yes, in Laos, Cambodia, except Burma, not shave eyebrows.
Okay, so in Laos, you also shave your eyebrow, right?
Yes.
But as actually, this is not concerned Vinaya, but it's the thing that tradition. Okay, it's kind of the custom and tradition. Okay, and then next one the monks have to do in under the Kantaka is to teach people. To teach people. Actually, when you study the Dhamma of the Buddha, and if someone asks about any Dhamma that you probably can answer them, then you can teach them to share them about some knowledge about that. Okay, like Asachi, right? Asachi, when the Buddha got enlightened and Asachi Panchavakhi 5, they become the Buddha's disciples, right? Become Buddha's disciple. Then Sariputta came across to see Asachi, and this manner of the monks is very surprised to Sariputta. Then Sariputta came to talk to Asachi, that, hey, your behalf is very, very surprised to me, and who is your master? And what is the teaching of your master? Then Asachi, he's not at that beginning of the time, he don't know much about the Dhamma, but he just say the word very short, very how to translate to English, like everything arising, stay for a while and ending. So we can say that everything's impermanent. Everything has, because the cause and effect, cause, action, and reaction. Like that. Then then Halita or Sariputta just realized about that. Oh, I never heard about Kyle teaching like this before. So I really want to visit your master. You see, simple words that make another people become a monk as Sariputta. Okay, this is like many of you are new monks, but when you study something and some people see surprise, oh, many foreign monk, they want to talk Dhamma to you, then you give simple word. Probably one of the thing to enlighten other people to follow as well. And then what else? The preaching of the Dhamma of the Buddha, and then the last one, we call the contemplate or contemplating on the four elements in our body. Okay, earth, water, fire, and air. The four things we call tasi, or four elements that the monks should always contemplate on that, and also kind of light eating food, medicine, Pachai Si, that monks use that. So every time before we having food, we will do Pati Sankhayoniso Pintapatang Patisewami. Pintapatang is kind of collecting food, that we collecting food from people in order to support our physical to moving on with our purification, our precept, purify our mind in order to get peace and final destination of practice to go to Nibbana. So that's we do some kind of like contemplating on eating like that. So this is kind of kantaka, or the monastic procedure regulations guideline that we need to follow, we need to do, we need to fix. We need to fix if some situation in the temple have some problem. Some temple monks probably fighting, maybe by not Muay Thai, but kind of like debating, or kind of like not different ideas and like this. So this is we should have some procedure to investigate if monks are not unity, monks are not become like peaceful group. Yeah, in Thailand, so many temple monks have color. There's also fighting as well in the same temple. So that's why if some monk they are not they hate each other, or they are not compromised, living together peacefully, then the procedure will be investigating in other temple that will be provide for them. Or sometimes people that stay in lay people that stay in temple fighting with the monks, whatever. This thing that we need to find out the solution to solve all this problem. And then what else that we do? Yes, if someone did something that not correct, then all monks will have a meeting, conference, like a meeting, and then we are going to discuss. And if the monks that he's very strong belief in his way that I want to follow like this, even I know that it's not right, okay, it's not right conduct that but I will follow, I will do, and don't care about you. So this thing will happen in the temple, in the monastery. Then we will cut off some punish to the monk. So the punishment in Buddhism, it will like all monks should not talk to that monk. If he is very naughty monk, he's not listen to the other, then there's a punishment step by step. Okay, this is concerned with the Patimokkha Sila. Okay, and actually, as I mentioned before, about the Binta Padang, chanting, shaving hair, teaching, preaching, and then meditating, contemplating on life as a monk. And the last part is Parivara. Parivara, this is as a show that this is a supplementary section that summarize and analyze the rule found in other two sections. It means that any rules of the Buddhas, any rules or any principle that Buddha led us to follow, any Vinaya, there's some background to check. Last time as I mentioned that like Parashika, when it happened when Buddha or when Buddha ordered this rule, and who is the first case or first person that broke this rule. So that's kind of checking step by step. This is called parivara. This is kind of like a complementary explanation, much more in Vinaya Pitaka. So I can say that this section of Vinaya Pitaka, we will talk about the 311 precepts of female monks, 227 precepts of monks. So that we call Sutta Vipanka. This is very big issue, very big issue. And then the Kantaka, this is the rule that in all monks and female monks should follow in the monastic. And Parivara is kind of if someone have doubt about the rules that how it's come from and how these rules happen. So this is another Q&A. Talk about the Vinaya Pitaka. Any question from you? I talk a lot, so I'm not sure that did you follow me or any loss from you? มีคำถามไหมนั่งฟัง
yes
กันเพลินเลยง่วงหลับ
yes
หรือ
พ
เป
ระ
ล่า
อาจารย์
Yeah.
go back to the word of bong and sankati
Yeah.
since bong we call is lower lobe can we call sankati as the outer lobe
Actually, the words it depends on to explain for like foreigners to understand. You know, like many words, we don't have in we don't know how to use it in English, right? So you can say like upper rope, extra upper rope, or even you talk to foreigners and you say sankati, so they will not know what is the meaning of sankati. So you have to explain in English, so either to make they understand. I think it's okay. You can call whatever and make sure that they realize, oh, sankati means the extra upper rope, or you can say the what do you say?
outer
Outer.
outer
Yeah.
outer
Outer rope,
lobe
whatever. So maybe you can talk to Long Pi, therefore for Long Pi sitting here. So it's just acceptable. If you can we say that? Sankati is outer rope, ผ้าสำรอง
Yes, Prajanu, we can consider the outer robe. Yes.
Okay. So I think it depends on you explain to what they understand. What is the Sankati means or and for what? I think it's okay. อาจารย์ไม่ชี้เนาะอย่างนั้นได้
thank you so much
Yes. Other question from this part? I will take a break for 5 minutes before we start the next section. Okay, we'll take for 5 minutes break.
Mahasatoya Mahakarunika
สต็อปเกิดขึ้นได้ ซึ่งเป็นเรื่องปกติของการเทรด ถ้ามี
พระอาจารย์คะสไล
นั่น
ด์พวกนี้พอที่จะส่งเข้าในไลน์กลุ่มได้ไหมคะ
อ๋อได้
จะ
แม่
ได้
เดี๋ยว
เพราะ
ส่ง
จะได้
ให้
ปริ้นแล้วก็จะได้เอามาโน้ตช็อตโน้ตได้
ได้แม่ เดี๋ยวส่ง
เดี๋ยวมา
ให้
ช็อตค่ะ กราบขอบพระคุณเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุ
กราบขอประทานโทษพระอาจารย์บางทีไม่ชีเผลอไม่ได้ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษนาน ก็
อ๋อ
เลยเผลอพูดไทยมากกว่าภาษาอังกฤษก็เลยลืมเลือนๆไม่ค่อยเก่งด้วย
ไม่เป็
แต่
นไร
ว่า
แม่
อยากรู้ศัพท์ภาษาอังกฤษของอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ ทาง
ครับ
ธรรมะ เพื่อที่จะ
ได้
ได้เวลาที่มีฝรั่งมาถาม เราจะได้ตอบ
เยี่ยม
คำถามเขาอธิบายได้ เพราะปัจจุบันก็คือจะใช้วิธีอธิบายโดยไม่ได้รู้ศัพท์ที่ถูกต้องอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ แต่ใช้วิธีอธิบายให้เขาฟังโดยเอาภาษาบาลีทับศัพท์เข้าไปเพื่อให้เขาชินด้วย
อื
แต่ว่าม จะไม่รู้ศัพท์ภาษาอังกฤษเฉพาะที่สำหรับนักธรรมเราได้ขอเจ้าคุณอาจารย์ พระราชมุนีเนี่ยเข้ามาเรียนที่นี่เพื่อที่จะได้เพิ่มเติมความรู้ของตัวเราเอง
ได้
แต่
ไหม
การใช้ภาษาอังกฤษอาจจะไม่ค่อยเก่งนะ
โอเค
ต้องกราบขอประทานโทษ
ไม่
ค่ะ
เป็นไรแม่ค่อยๆเรียนรู้กันพระอาจารย์ก็ไม่ได้เก่งเราไม่ได้เกิดมาเป็น native
ใช่
speaker ก็เลยต้อง
มันไม่
ตา
ใช่
มเรา
ภาษา
ได้เนาะ
แม่เรา แล้วก็บวชไม่ได้ใช้เลยตั้งแต่บวชมาแล้วไม่ได้ทำงาน ก็แทบจะไม่ค่อยได้ใช้เท่าไหร่
อ๋อ
ใหม่ๆยังได้ใช้ เพราะว่ามีพระอาจารย์ที่เป็นพระวิปัสสท่านพูดภาษาอังกฤษ แล้วคอยดูแลท่าน ท่านก็ให้ communicate กับพวกฝรั่ง แต่หลังๆนี้ก็ไม่ได้เข้าไปยุ่ง ก็เลยยิ่งไม่ได้ใช้หนักขึ้นไปใหญ่เลย
โอเคได้ ก็ดีฮะเรียนรู้แล้วก็จะได้ช่วยกันอธิบายให้กับต่างชาติได้เข้าใจพระพุทธศาสนามากขึ้นเนาะแม่เนาะ
ค่ะ
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come back to before we finish our around 10 minutes, the future. Last time I think I already described about the role of Vinaya. Why do we need to follow and why do we need to carry on, right? As I mentioned before that, number one, it is for to protect ourselves. So this is kind of morality that we need to follow, we need to observe because it's a way to generate the kind of like ethical conduct for ourselves. That's why we need to follow Vinaya Bideka. As I mentioned before that right now, you know that other country, they are very serious about the war, right? Even now, every day as a monk, but we also follow up about the news that, oh, right, now many country, they are preparing for fighting. So this is one of the things that when the fightings happen, a lot of people, in a sense, people suffer from the war because the sometimes some other leader, other people may not follow about the ethical or the Vinaya or the rules like that. When you came across with the people in the country they are fighting, right? Many children that as I talk about in the human people, people as a human. Okay, we don't separate that you are Buddhist, you are Muslim, Christian, or whatever, but we focus on the teaching of Buddha. When we spread love and kindness, we will say that may all living beings be free from physical and mental suffering. We don't say about may all Buddhist people be free from suffering mental, right? We all living beings. And sometimes we see some picture that little baby or children, they don't have good food, don't clean water, and this thing happen because one or two or three people they have conflict. So ethical rules of Vinaya is kind of to cultivate goodness about the conducts of people to serve themselves. Like we know that abstaining from taking a life. So if every people follow this, then we no need to harm the other life. Then there's no fighting like that. But a lot of people suffer because they may not realize about the ethical object. In Buddhism, we believe about cause and effect, action and reaction. So if we did some bad action to the other, the impact or the reaction, it will also come back to ourselves. That's why in the ethical conduct that we need to observe, why when we need to cultivate goodness, a good action, then we need to observe the rule. When we observe the rule, we follow the Vinaya, then the Vinaya or the rule will observe us. So we're not to fighting like that. And number two, like community harmony, you see, any even family, if the husband or wife follow the 5% very strict, then you will not have problem with other problem that coming up. But if wife or husband not follow a rule, maybe one of them or maybe four or five of this, then later on we create a lot of problem too. Like the father always drinking alcoholism, then also create problem. So all things is concerned with the precept, the basic precept. Okay. For the spiritual training. Number 3, life training and education. So this is the thing that all new monks and female monks, when they become a monk, they have to learn about the rules. They have to know what you should do and what you should not do. Preserve the teaching of Buddha. This is one of the things that when we study Buddhism, we study Vinaya, whatever teaching, principle, whatever. This is one of the things that we preserve generation by generation, like our master. They study Vinaya, Dhamma, Abhidhamma from generation by generation until our generation, right? So we are this generation. When we study, then we will pass on to our next student, next children, or next generation to learn. That is way to preserve the teaching of the Buddha. Okay. As I mentioned about that, this is the thing that people should follow. It's a fundamental ethical for people to follow and to get to learn each other in order to create peace. Start from family, okay, for wife and husband, for children, daughter, son, whatever, to study at least the 5 precepts before we move on to be the good quality of the mind. So the good quality of the mind then also bring peace and good harmony to our society too. Okay, we can create peace or build peace, start from ourselves by the principle or by the Vinaya in ourselves. Okay. So the Vinaya Pitaka here, I next time let me share some. Before we finish, I have some structure of Vinaya Pitaka. Moment, please. The structure. Let me check from this first.
From TikTok, Yusu a heart emoji.
This one. Okay. So the structure of Vinaya Pitaka as summarized, we can summarize like this. Vinaya Pitaka that we talk about is covered by Mahavipanka, the major rules of monks. You remember before we talk about Sutta Vipanka, okay, Sutta Vipanka, and then Kantaka and Parivara. There's three major things that we study about the rules and Vinaya, but actually Sutta Vipanka will two of this. Sutta Vipanka will follow. One is the Mahavipanka, is major rule of the monks, and the other ones following the major rule of female monks. Then Mahavaka, as I mentioned about the Kantaka, right? Kantaka is kind of the concluding with the original order of monks or regulation in monastery, okay? And then Chulavaka, and the regulations on monk ways living. This is conclude number 2 of this. It will talk about the Kantaka. Okay, the two of both. They will talk about the Sutta Vipanka, and Mahavaka and Chulavaka is talk about the Kantaka, that the way of monastery rule that we have to follow. And Parivara, okay, Parivara is kind of like Q&A about Vinaya Pitaka. Okay, so this is the conclusion of the whole structure of Vinaya Pitaka that we're going to study from level 1 to 3. So actually we will study 3 levels of this. So we were moving more like a deeper and deeper about this, but this is a very basic structure of Vinaya Pitaka that we're going to study. Okay. What else do I need to do? Okay, actually this will be the same. There's a book that I collect from so I think if any student want to study more, so I can share for you. Vinaya Pitaka. I will collect it, okay? And then I will give for you to study Vinaya Pitaka about this. But it's then now here's the PDF file. I have the hard copy with me, but I will give to everyone in this book. We will study all these things. This mostly concerned with monks, female monks, but for the lay people, actually we will talk about 5 precepts only. So for the 5 precepts, we're going to talk about this this time. We will follow step by step about the Vinaya Pitaka. Yeah, that's all. So the next, we are going to move deeper in 5 precepts. Okay, the 5 precepts, we will go deeper on that. Okay, so I think any other things? Any question before I'm going to finish by my talk here? Any question from you? ไม่มี any question ถ้าไม่มีก็ if there's no question then maybe we can finish like this, and then next time we are continue with the 5 precepts step by step. Okay, so I think if you have no question, then I'll see you again next time.
Thank you หลวงพี่
Yes.
Thank you so much ครับพระอาจารย์
ครับ
กราบขอบพ
welcome
ระคุณค่ะ thank you so much
Thank you, Prajan Karwakrap.
ครับผม Okay, so thank you very much. And then maybe next subject will take class in 50 minutes after this. Next subject. Okay, see you. Bye bye ครับผม so you can stay here and I need to leave นะฮะหลวงพี่เควินอยู่นี่ก่อนนะครับ
ผม
ครับ ตอนนี้ใครเป็นเดี๋ยวพระอาจารย์ดูก่อนว่าใครเป็น co-host ที่นี่เควินเป็นไหม
มีพระอาจารย์รูปไหนจะมาครับ
เอ่อ monks for
พระอาจารย์สมบูรณ์ป่วยใช่ไหมฮะวันนี้ไม่ได้เข้าครับ
อ๋อมาป่วยใช่ไหม
ครั
อั
บ
นนี้อาจารย์วรวุฒิไม่อยู่เนาะเดี๋ยวดูก่อนว่าจะให้ใครเป็นโฮสต์แทนเดี๋ยวเพราะเราก็เรียนต่ออีกวิชาหนึ่งเนาะ
ก็ปกติก็จะต่อพักพระอาจารย์ก็เป็นพระอาจารย์
เป็น
พระ
อา
อา
จารย์สมบูรณ์หรือเปล่าครับ อา
จะ
จารย์
ส
ส
ม
ม
บู
บู
ร
ร
ณ์
ณ์
เป็น
พระอาจารย์สมบูรณ์ค่ะ พอดีท่านอาพาธและ
อ๋อ
เห็น
จะ
ท่านบอกว่าไปเรียนเอาอาทิตย์หน้า
อ๋อ
ใช่ครับ
แสดงว่าไม่มีเรียนแล้วใช่ไหม
ครับ
อ๋อ
ถ้า
คิด
ตาม
ว่า
ตามความหมายของท่านก็น่าจะไม่มีเรียน เพราะรู้สึกว่าชาวต่างชาติจะไปหมดแล้ว เพราะว่าท่านแจ้งไว้แต่เช้าแล้วค่ะ
อ๋อ
ว่าเนื่องจากท่านอาพาธดังนั้นวันนี้จึงไม่มีการเรียน แล้วก็ไปเจอกันสัปดาห์หน้าค่ะ
อ๋อ ถ้าเป็นอย่างงั้นก็น่าจะไม่มีเรียน any student would you like to join our Buddhist seminar on 23rd and 24th and this month ใครอยากจะแม่อยากจะมาร่วมงานสัมมนาก็ได้นะ
ค่ะเห็นเหมือนกันแต่ว่าถ้าโดยปกติอะค่ะถ้าไม่ได้เรียนน่ะ แล้วงั้นอาทิตย์หน้าวันที่24เราก็ต้องเรียนไหมคะเราก็ยัง
วั
ต้อน ง
ที่
เรียน
24พระอาจารย์ 24th I think if I cannot come to here then probably maybe all the master will be busy with the conference any
Yes.
student would like to join our conference feel so welcome on 24th นะครับลืมบอกไปเดี๋ยวให้ดูนะครับ
มีอะไรครับพระอาจารย์
นี่เป็นงานสัมมนาครับ เป็น seminar the topic seminar is นะครับเป็นเนี่ยครับนี่เป็นของมหาวิทยาลัย this is university this year our seminar conference it will talk about the soft power and Buddhist innovations for contemporary society so it will arrange on 23rd will be national conference and 24th it will be international conference so if any one of our student you want to join is in Doi Saket this is our university let me share for you the university
It will be held on in Doi Sket not in วัดสวนดอก right
in Doi
correct
Saket ครับแม่
why
this is the new university for MCU
oh
so this year we're going to celebrate for 40 years best side of me 40 years that we established our MCU Buddhist University for 40 years so we arranged the seminar on this area now we're constructing and this we would like to make as the Buddhist kind of the Buddhist Center study. We plan for many branches of Buddhism from different area to join with us. If you want to join, we are so welcome. ยินดีต้อนรับแม่ถ้าแม่สนใจมานะ
เดี๋ยวต้องสนใจค่ะแต่เพียงแต่ว่าไม่แน่ใจว่าจะหาใครทำงานแทนในวัดได้หรือเปล่าเพราะปกติไม่มีหน้าที่ในสำนักงานวิปัสสนาด้วยอย่างเงี้ย
แม่ก็หาคนอื่นแล้วมาลองมา
ใช่
ลองมาดูลองมาร่วมงาน ตอนนี้เรากำลังสร้างตรงนี้ อยากจะทำให้เป็นหุบเขาแห่งความสุขโดยพุทธปัญญาเน้นเรื่องของพุทธปัญญาBuddhist wisdom and happiness life for people. So that's why every year we have a kind of like conference. So this conference subtopic we will have like innovation and sustainable development. Topic number 2, it will talk about Buddhist innovation and creative thinking, Buddhism and long life learning, Lana wisdom to global wisdom. This will be happen in our university. Okay, if anyone want to join, or if anyone, our student here, if any หลวงพี่ want to write any articles, join us. We are so welcome. Okay นะครับany article to present your idea based on this topic นะครับ to present based on this topic. There are 4 subtopics that you can join. So I will drop this to our live group. So if any student want to participate. Okay ครับ so that's all. Thank you very much นะครับ ไปแล้วนะครับผม
ครับขอบคุณครับ
ข
โม
อบ
ท
คุณ
นา
ค่ะ
บุญขอบคุณพระอาจารย์มากเลยครับผม
กราบนมัสการค่ะ
ทำงานพระอาจารย์ปิดเลยเนาะเพราะเรา
ค่ะ
ไม่ได้เรียนแล้วก็จะออกจากห้องเลยนะ